Yeah, one of the things that really is going to be important in this matchup is how early Gordie gets astrolabe.
Yeah.
Because of how horizontal his
Draws
left
you
is,
so many
he's
cards.
going to have to lay down turtlebacks, his pad campaigns, his team sponsorship,
Yeah.
sands, and the turtlebacks, as you said. So all those cards, and if if Gordie is drawing off most of those
Yeah.
installs, that's going to help him win the game
Yeah.
considerably.
Because I was playing Hacktivist Meeting earlier, and I installed it early against Hollis.
Yeah,
And
that'll
that,
do
I
it.
had a pathetic opening hand, but getting that online and the fact that Hollis couldn't get the assets going, it
Yeah.
changed the game.
Maker's Eyes, 2 double of them. I don't know if he's going to keep this. Is he
Let's
mulligan?
see. All right, so
No
it looks
econ.
like he's ready to go.
All right, so I think since they played earlier, Gordie's assuming R&D might be open again, and he's keeping a hand of double Maker's Eye and RDI.
Yeah. And this is where I always feel like
it's going to be an interesting hand.
Yeah.
Like, no econ. He's just going to hang on to this.
Just go for broke.
I don't know about this.
Yeah, because here's the thing, especially when the runner has already played against this particular corp, you're able to run with a lot less fears. We see Little Engine go over R&D. Wow.
And hopefully hedge fund or draw. Okay, hedge fund.
Yeah. So I think that's a very respectable start from Hollis. Little Engine's going to do work.
Astrolabe's online.
Yeah, I think that's a fine spend because unless he's got Fem, even an Ottman would just cost so much at this point. So he has clearly bought himself the time. I think Hollis feels like he needs to draw out of this, get some money, get a remote going. I think that's a nice opener for him.
Yep. And even though Gordie has no econ, he's got pretty much a dream opening. He's got Astrolabe, he's going to draw a bajillion cards, and he's got the SMC to threaten Clot immediately.
Yeah, the Astrolabe, like you said, is such a huge card in this matchup.
I think he just Astrolabed into a clone chip, even better.
All right, Hollis going to take a couple credits.
Credit. Gordie draws click 1 into a prepaid, draws again into a diesel.
Yeah, let's get the prepaid going. He needs some economy. And prepaid is how you get it.
I don't think he has an event, though, besides Makers in his hand.
Yeah, staring at his hand. Yeah, this is not. I would be more than happy to ditch that Levy AR. This is not going to be a game where I feel like he gets anywhere close to needing that. Yep, here's team sponsorship. You guys have probably seen it on camera today, but Hollis is a believer in this card.
Is the worst ever.
Yeah.
1 res, 4 to trash. GG.
Draws up all the cards. Once you biotic and score out the Astro, you res it for 1 and trigger it. It's very, very, very powerful. All right, so getting that horizontal game going.
Seeing Eli in his hand, I wonder how he wants to place that.
I mean, you mentioned the ice count earlier. I mean, in this game at least, Hollis has drawn all the ice he's probably ever going to need.
Yeah.
All right, so dieseling up.
See some cards, Plastic Grid, RDI. Dang, this no econ is going to be rough.
Yeah, this is tough.
I think you're just going to have to click for some credits here. There's no way you can install any of this junk. Running HQ is okay. But
yeah, that's a trade I think Hollis is fine with. Because Hollis at this point needs money to put him into biotic range. All right, let's see what we find. Oh, okay. That's fine. 1 pointer.
1 pointer. That's a big deal, actually. Because now he just needs 3 2-pointers.
Also true.
I don't know.
I don't see what else is in Hollis's hand. I'm sure every time I play NBN, the only thing I'm thinking is, please don't take Astro Script. Please don't take Astro Script. Here you see, I mean, I think that Little Engine choice is actually really interesting. It's a card I've looked at ever since it was printed, and I think Hollis, he and I discussed it as we were playing the match. I think it's just it's a very interesting choice, and shows you how it shores up this early game. It doesn't, unlike Eli, can't click through it, so you don't give up the Maker's Eye run. So Turtlebacks is online.
He just got room for all his servers, so he's gonna have to stack them up.
Yep. So we're gonna gain a credit, draw a card. It's just all the synergy. Yeah, and like you said, I mean, this is where the game gets so tough for Gordie. No money in hand, and you're just watching Hollis get all these expensive assets online, draw all these cards. You really can't spend your turn running, because even going through pop-up again, you're not even going to be able to play a sure gamble from hand if you draw it.
He's got 1 prepaid. You'd have to click even to do that.
All right.
Prepaid comes in, click 1.
Do you just quality time here? I don't think there's anything in his hand that is so relevant that, yeah, I just
No,
want to
you
see
cannot
cards.
quality time.
He's going for it.
I disagree with this. He's only paying 2.
But yeah, he's got the prepaids. He's going to spend his prepaid money to do it. We got a lucky find, so that's big for him. He needed something.
But, like, you can't even play your lucky find.
Yeah, you got to wait till next turn.
No, but that's the problem here. You have so many good cards, you're going to have to toss some.
Yeah, you see the clot in hand as well. I wonder if he keeps that in hand or just puts that in the bin where he can access it with the clone chip. He's thinking. I think that's the card he's thinking the hardest about. I think the levy can go clot depending on which way he decides to go. You know, could be in his hand, could be in the bin. Okay, decides to spend his last money. Oh, I think.
He lays down clot for free.
Well, I
mean,
think
for 1 credit.
Well, here he used it on the prepaid. I think he took the discount twice, if I'm not mistaken. Or is that last turn?
No, that'd be this
turn. Okay, I may be wrong.
That'd be this turn. Judge.
Check into that, see if my memory's good. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so we caught that. We got to pick up the clot.
You can't install it. So it's
just like you said yesterday, Ahmed, that K discount, so good. Why do you want to pay?
You got to do it 2 or 3 times a turn.
2 or 3 times. Value.
It's value.
All right, so figuring out what he wants to discard.
No, that's why I disagree with the quality time.
I think the legwork in his hand's important. I mean, that one's a keeper. I don't think that the levy doesn't care about.
There's only a pop-up defending it.
Yeah.
But like, watch, that's what you quality timed, and you're just going to end up clicking for credits. If you just clicked for credit first before this, you could have lucky finded.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. That's at least the way I approach my quality times if I'm on that low credits. Because now you're going to toss a lot of good cards.
Miserable. This is all. This hand
like
is
RDI's got to go. There's no way you can keep it. It's cost 3 to install. You have 2 makers.
I
so
think
keep
Levy's
those.
got to go.
Levy's going to go.
You forgot the same old thing if you ever even get to use it.
Like, there's so many hard choices. You have to let Data Sucker go here, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, then just choose Data Sucker, Levy, and keep the rest. I think you got to keep both makers, because that's probably the only way you're going to get back in this game. Is see cards before Hollis can see them.
All right. Well, Hollis is past turn.
I guess he had
that magic 7 credits.
He didn't have another extra card. Yeah, makes sense. And clot's in the trash, right?
All right. Oh man, Turtleback's just going off. So money. Let's see if Hollis remembers. Did he take his Turtleback's money? Take that money. Put it in your deck. There you go. Did he? I think he was taking his because he gets 2. He had.
I think it netted itself because he res it for 2.
Okay.
And then
yep.
I don't think
that looks right.
I think we're okay.
Yep. Because we got 4 face downs or 4 installed cards. All right. So lucky find on time.
Monies.
Now, do you legwork here? I mean, Hollis hasn't scored much. It seems like he's been playing his asset game, but he has drawn a decent number of cards.
You'd wait another turn. Not only do you play it for free, but it doesn't look like Hollis is going to score next turn.
Yeah. The thing I would be nervous about...
Because you can't... You can do it, I guess, if you really wanted to.
The thing I'd be nervous about is that protected card, the iced remote. Is that a Cyberdex?
It's either Cyberdex or Sansan.
That's what I would be nervous about.
That's the thing, like, if that Cyberdex is... that's why team sponsorship is so ridiculous. They use Cyberdex to get rid of your clot.
Yeah.
They score their agenda. They get it back with team sponsorship. You're back to square one, where you have to run that remote to get rid of Cyberdex.
All right, so Turtleback's doing more work right now. Gets 2, draws a card, doing all the things. Yeah, but I don't see. I can't see Hollis's hand very well. Don't see if he's got any agendas in hand. I see him drawing a lot of ice. And like as we said, I mean, he has installed the ice that he installed on turn 1 in that 1 remote. I mean, that's been there the whole game, and you see how much he has held up. This is the power of NBN. I mean, for literally 5 cost of rezzed ice, he is completely bricked R&D. He's netting money off of HQ, and yeah, he's finally installing a second one, but it amazes me sometimes playing against NEH how even though there's so little ice on the board, you take their focus completely off of the server that's going to lose you the game.
Yeah. But the thing is, see that ice placement? I think it shows that Hollis probably does have a Sansan in that server. Or he feels confident that he can, if he draws an agenda, he will score it.
Wow. So Parasite's the little engine.
Gotta get it within range.
You know, I'm curious, that seems like one of those really good Ottman targets because the last subroutine pays you a ton of money.
Yeah, he doesn't know this, but Ahmed 6 is the way to go with the data sticker. Little engine
Yeah.
7 strength.
Yeah.
Because of the archers.
Yeah,
This deck
no,
has-
that's a great point.
This deck has 2 archers.
That's a great point,
in
and
the
I
chat
love
are
that
not aware.
splash.
So if you put it at 6, Ahmed at 6, you can break archer, and 1 data sucker can get through
Yeah.
the little engine.
No, I think it's a great point. We'll see if...
So yeah, that's why this is not the optimal place for the parasite.
Yeah, we've got baby in hand for Gordie. Oh, he's going for the legwork. Okay, he's wondering if Hollis has drawn enough cards, and we'll see if he's got it.
It's a good time to legwork. It's fair.
Yeah, I agree.
Probably
He's
an
drawn enough
APD if
cards.
nothing else.
He's got the same old things.
I doubt there's an Astro or Beal even in there.
All right, so hedge fund.
That's interesting.
We've got fast track to go get the Astro that Hollis needs, and
Yeah,
an
an
APD.
APD's in there.
Okay, I think
I
you
know
know
to play
for
this game.
for where Gordie is, Astro has not been scored. Gordie has 2 prepaids online, has a clot that he has seen, and he's got a way to recur it. You know, he's in decent shape now. Hollis clearly he's got a big board set up as well. You've got 2 turtlebacks. Gordie has shown no willingness to challenge any of Hollis's remotes. So Hollis has got to like that part of it. But yeah, he definitely, I'm sure, wants to get this first Astro scored.
Yeah. Let's see what's gonna happen. The way
Yeah.
the server's been built, I'm pretty sure Sand's in the remote, and one of those assets he put is Cyberdex, and the only reason he put it out in the open is so he can get the free credit on the install.
Yeah,
I mean the
so
money
go
from
for 2 turtlebacks.
draw
Draw
the
a card. So good.
So good.
Turtlebacks, one of those cards where for so long, you know, it just collected dust in the binder, and Hollis
2
putting
more
it to good
credits.
work.
So many credits they cannot stay on the screen. They're just piling up on each other.
Alright, so yeah, Hollis doing a little bit of upkeep here, making our job a little bit easier, which we always appreciate. So yeah, a nice 15 credits, huge lead, got the hedge fund in hand if he wants it. But this is where, again, NEH, just playing that horizontal game. None of these are iced. Putting these out, for all he knows, you could have enough winning points on the board. And, you know, Gordie can't check them all. He doesn't have the money, doesn't have the time. Get the lucky find, which is right on time.
I wonder what this R&D ice is.
Because that's the thing. If it is that archer,
Well,
that
you can't
we know
res it
could
right
be
now.
lurking, get res it, yeah.
It's got another clone chip. Just gonna use it.
So the clone chip. Put out data sucker. Okay. Don't know
Oh,
if
he's just gonna run through HQ, paying the credit, getting data stickers. I guess that's fair. Probably wrap
yeah.
around. I can see wrap around on the remote. I mean, the R&D.
I mean,
That's okay. That's not bad. That's bad for Hollis. Hollis
yeah.
needed to score that.
yeah, he
mid-turn.
did.
Probably what he mandatory when he installed. I mean, not mandatory, but NEH drew when he first installed his first remote last turn.
Yeah. And here's the thing: is the threat of legwork is always there because you've got the 2 same old things now. Legwork's in the bin. You know what the ice is. So I'm curious whether Hollis tries to install one of those ice in front of HQ to make Gordie go get another breaker, or at least think he needs a breaker. Yeah, I like this play from Hollis a lot. The only way you're going to lose this is by drawing into the HQ agendas and not being, you know, on your second click or something and not being
Yeah.
able to bang them out fast enough. But yeah, once again, Clot, I mean, it's doing work here, but we don't know if one of these face downs is a Cyberdex. Hollis needs it to be.
There's no way. I cannot see a scenario where he does not have the Cyberdex.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the only way that breaking news stayed in his hand, because
Yeah.
it was because it was what he got off his NEH
That makes
draw.
sense.
If he draws an agenda, he's scoring it. Like in his mandatory draw, which is all you can hope for.
Alright, so Gordie, Dirty Laundry, going to charge up some more data sucker tokens.
I think if Gordie can, he's got just 1 clone chip, so he needs to save that for his clot. But he's drawn into his breakers. He's got Gordie and Blade, and it looks like he's gonna try to lay it down, make a play at the
Yeah,
remote.
that would be.
I mean, they're making a play at R&D. Because little engines are getting low on strength, so you can afford to get in there.
Yeah, and you don't have to break the last subroutine. You
I think
get
he's
paid
gonna do
back.
it. I think he's gonna makers.
I like that play.
YOLO.
At some point, I mean,
But then
you want to win the game.
But I think you just wait a turn, because if it's wraparound, you're just like, oh, that's sad.
All right, figuring out.
Draws
Lucky
up.
find, nice draw.
I don't think you can play. I think that was a start, collect, to draw. If it wasn't, I think it's snap play. Use your prepaids.
All right, how we got the breaking news on board.
Is that blind?
And
Oh, wow.
I guess he does not have any team sponsorships?
He does, but there's nothing to trigger.
Okay.
There's only hedge fund in archives.
Okay, got it. And then protecting up R&D. I think he knows that Gordie's coming.
Seems good.
All right, so little engine down to, I think, 3 strength.
I think it's got
because it's 7 strength.
counters.
It's got 4 counters and 2
Yeah.
data suckers. So, you know, I think.
I hope it's Archer.
I mean, at this point, it's almost better to leave it on the board because you pay 2 to break it with Gordie in, or pay 3 at this point, but you get 5 off the last subroutine. I mean, you have, I think he has a self-modifying code in archives, or in
Oh wow,
in
someone
Gordie's
made a
heap.
good point. He could have, I guess he didn't trigger team sponsorship because
Yeah.
it was from archives. But if he had Resit, he could have installed that ice for free.
Yeah,
Team sponsorship is also from hand. I always forget that as well because it's a
Yeah.
new card. Forget it's also from a hand.
Yeah.
But it's okay. It's all good. Could have saved a click and 2 credits.
Mm-hmm.
That's rough. Things like that, really can
Yeah, like you said, new cards.
put you out of Astro range. I mean, Sans range,
Mhm.
you know? Like, it's amazing this game can come down to
Every-
those small
every
mistakes
credit counts.
where you're not gaining by being as efficient as you could be.
All right, checking the heap. So Gordie is back into decent money range. Curious to see what he does with this little engine because he can actually net money off of it at this point. But I think he needs to try and figure out a way. I mean, he's got his breakers in hand, so he's got enough if he wants to spend the money to go challenge R&D with Maker's Eye Runner and R&D interface. I mean, he's got the money at this point. Thinking hard about which breaker. What does he think he needs? You know, at this point, even with the breaking news, I don't know that Gordie's probably reading Archer. Mimic's not going to help you if that's what it is, but if he's really worried...
About it. He's been here all day.
Yeah.
People have been talking about it. Which is one of the unfortunate things about big tournaments like this. People mostly end up knowing everyone's deck before it's over, even if you haven't played the person. What's he doing? Some more credits came out of nowhere. You think he played Lucky Find?
Yeah, he played Lucky Find.
Yeah, sorry, I looked down for a second. And then Mimic comes in. That's it. Astro. No? Yes? I don't know.
So
Install. Draws a card. That's an
turtlebacks.
agenda.
No
You can't
turtlebacks
tell what
money?
it is. We need to just do an agenda.
Oh, there we go. Get your turtlebacks money.
Jackson
Alright.
draws.
Yeah, I like it. I like these. He needs to draw out of this with Jackson. He has not seen enough of the agenda that he wants, which is AstroScript, and I think he is. He's feeling it now. All right, so throwing some stuff into archive. I've got to imagine if he has multiple CyberDex
Biotic
virus
in hand.
suites, it would be awful nice to be able to discard one of those. Because yeah, CyberDex. If I don't know if Gordie, if he has one, but that would be a huge play if he was able to clear viruses at this point. Because that little engine did a lot of work early game. Gordie thinking about how he's going to get into R&D. Hollis thinking about how he can get and score this first Astro. He's seen a lot of cards. I mean, this is unusual because Gordie hasn't. He has 4 points, but he hasn't. And neither player has seen an Astro script this game.
Or one of them Beals. Sometimes you just gotta suck it up and go for Beals. Especially with team sponsorship, you can blow some tricks.
All right, so Hollis, popping Jackson, shuffling some cards back in. Let's see what he left. Hollis feeling the pinch of he's got to be able to close this game out, and I think he is. You've seen over half the ice in his deck at this point. All right, so let's see what Gordie does with the rest of this turn. I mean, they're both in fine money position at this point, so it's just going to be whoever picks the right spots to make this run. We do see, I think that's a sharpshooter in his hand.
Yeah, sharpshooter's in hand.
Does he lay that down? Does he know what you know about the green bow and arrow card? There we go.
Oh, he's not adventurous enough.
Doesn't do you any good in your hand.
He's not adventurous enough.
All right, actually, little engine.
That's not so. How many clone chips? He got 1 clone chip.
Yeah.
That's not so bad because this is the only trick he can do so many times. Because as soon as he does this, the next time he runs, he can't run again. He has to make a choice. Do I keep my clot online or do I go try to run RD again?
Yeah.
So he's stalling an RDI. It was already there. I don't even know. They're moving stuff.
All right, Maker's Eye. Here we go.
Free.
This could be the game. We have not seen Master. We have not seen Beal.
Oh,
wow.
And he has. I know he has one of his ladies in hand.
Do you? I don't remember if he has one, but do you give up the clot threat to put a lady back in?
I don't know.
That's tough. I don't know that it's worth it.
This tempo could be huge for Hollis.
It's tough because you feel like a Cyberdex might be there, and you want to see these cards because this could end the game.
He has one lady in hand, is for sure. Where is the other lady?
So let me ask you this: do you clone? He has a self-modifying code. Do you clone? I don't know if there's the other one.
Then you lose 2 things. You give up clock.
Sharpshooter.
I know you have, but then you faceplant archer.
That's a thing.
That's what's gonna happen.
It's fun, like you said. What's not fun about that?
If he does this would be the most ridiculous thing, because then he would lose his last clone chip.
Yeah, and clot is
he would lose his old rig, and it'd be so painful.
Yeah.
Like, and that's how Hollis bounces.
It's a tough decision.
I think you have to bounce. You just give up the fact. You have 2 same old things already laid down. Okay, you made a mistake. You makers when you shouldn't have. Just let it go.
And this is, again, I keep going back to it. This is the great thing about NBN that I love. You have had 6 cost worth of rezzed ice.
Doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, getting rid of data sucker, which is also fair.
I'm fine with getting rid of data sucker at this point.
But if he blanks here, which he probably won't, because there's agendas there somewhere.
All right, lady. Yeah, it's tough to pass up when you can win the game off of 3 potentially. All right, so let's see. No res.
No res and little
engine. Get a net money off little engine.
Oh, it's going to be rough.
Yep.
I think this is it. There's no way he doesn't hit here.
All right, so let's look at 3. Let's look at 3. 1.
Let's look at Jackson.
No.
It's going to trash it. He's going to see 4. Did he lay down RDI? Yeah, he laid down RDI.
2. Steal it. 3. Sansan. What do you do?
This is so dangerous.
Clot's out
one
now.
agenda, one Astro just to take the game.
I don't know. I would. This is a tough one.
You can't steal an APD. Does he have enough?
I think you have to trash it.
Cyberdex purges.
So we purge. Little engine back online. That's key for Hollis, at least. Anything to buy him some more time.
Yeah, Hollis is live. What is he doing?
Oh, we know what he drew. All right, so we are at 5 points. Any agenda at this point, I think, does it for Gordie. Can he do what nobody else has done? Nobody else beat Hollis and Swiss at all, and Gordie is 1 agenda pull away from doing the 2 in a row. Huge.
Yeah. And the thing is, I think Hollis cannot. It'd be hard for him to even sack this breaking news for Archer, because I think those are all the 1-pointers.
Yeah, that's
he has
it.
1 future is now, right? Is that what it's called?
Yes.
And 2 other breaking news.
That's
I
right.
doubt he runs more than 4
no,
1-pointers.
I think you're right. So at this point, you're on NAPDs, Beals, and Astros.
Yeah, it's Biotics happening. Biotics happening.
Yep. Yep.
He's like, it's not possible, right?
Making
it is
sure.
not possible.
No clot. Don't leave the clot. All right, so we're going to install. We're going to get team sponsorship. I like it. We're going to get team sponsorship. Oh, comboing off. Here we go. All of them. Does he have 3? All right, advance 3 times. Hope for his sake it's an Astro. There it is.
There it is. He's actually
there
in this
it
game.
is. All right, we're back online. What can we can get Jackson, we can get Cyberdex. Just going off with this team sponsorship.
Gains 2 credits.
Should get turtlebacks. Yep. Needs to draw.
A card, Hollis.
His money's off screen, so a little tough. I know he's got a lot of remote service, so this is tough. Yep. So drawing, trigger off any H.
No, he should be at. He goes. That's awesome. Goes from 3 to 7 credits.
So big.
So
turtlebacks again. You're getting paid to play your deck. All right, so we've got a board full of every horizontal asset imaginable. All right, now Gordie is that 5 credits?
Yeah, he's at 5.
I mean, he can get back if he wants it, depending on what he thinks that middle ice is.
You got short gamble.
Yeah, you got to go back. You've trashed so many
assets. He can't
assets.
run now because he knows that top. I think he has to wait a turn, so it's all fresh. Doesn't he? Oh no, because Hollis mandatoried.
No, but he drew off the NEH.
Yeah,
so this is fresh. Looking at 2 cards,
yeah.
and it's not going to cost you anything because
I
even
think
the money you spend for Gordian, you get
he
it back from Little Engine.
I don't think he's got the money for it. I think he takes.
If he sure gambles and goes, he does.
I think you just sure gamble next turn, same old thing, makers. Just see 4.
As long as that middle ice doesn't cost you more than he has, you know you're going to be net neutral on Little Engine, and it costs you nothing to get through wraparound with the lady counter. The only way he loses is by letting Hollis draw the Astro.
I mean, I'm sure it's going to come down to who can top it.
Yeah.
That's all it's going to come down to. When does Gordie run? Does he see an agenda?
He's got stim hack in hand.
Yeah.
So, I mean, gosh, at this point, he's not at the point he needs it. He can just sure gamble and go if he wants it. But I think you got to look at some cards at this point.
Yeah, even if Hollis does have Archer, if he reses it, his win condition goes so much further out the window.
Yeah.
I think it's best just to wait. You sure gambled. You used your prepaids, so just wait a turn. Next turn, same old thing, makers.
Well, let's see if Hollis gets rewarded for this.
Mandatory
draw. Let's take a look at the grip.
I don't think there's an agenda.
All right, how do we install something to trigger a draw? Because he needs to draw out of this. He needs to present the threat that he might have in hand. And here's the other problem, right? We see the same old thing. They've been on the board the whole game. If he does draw an extra card, if Gordie's able to get enough money, do you just go legwork to try and see if he drew it and then stim hack R&D and just look at a bunch of cards? I mean, he's got the money to do it. And he, again, any agenda wins it at this point. Because Gordie is set up and is as set up as he's going to be. I mean, no clone chip on the board, which I know has got to make him a little bit nervous at this point, but still. I don't think he had to trash the data sucker, but I think most of the ice that he's seen in Hollis's deck, I don't think he's probably afraid of what's protecting HQ.
Yeah.
Hollis got to remember all those cards he installed. All right, so trigger a draw. I like this on Hollis' side. Get some more money. Present the threat that you've drawn, potentially the next Astro.
Oh man, this is tense.
Very tense. Got enough money to biotic if he wants it.
I hate these moments where you know he's gonna makers.
Yeah, you feel it coming.
Like you've made the draw, and oh, I didn't draw the agenda. Maybe now it'll be the 3rd card, and
maybe
I
gave set
it to him.
Yep.
Oh man.
Taking a look at his options.
I think it'll be very, very hard for Hollis to ever see an agenda. Yep.
I'm fine with that.
He's just gotta hope now.
You gotta get enough money to Sand, Biotic, whatever you need to do, because the next agenda he draws might not be Astro, but he's got to score these out as quick as he can draw them.
He may never see a fresh card again.
Yeah, that's a great point.
He may never see one again. That's how. Well, like if Gordie wants to. Like, he can go pretty broke to make sure it never happens.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm Gordie, do whatever you need to do to get the money in the rig you need, but you got to set up Maker's Eye this turn.
What if that middle ice is toll booth? How much would Gordie? Oh no, because Gordie stays pumped. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's fine. He'll get in.
You got to set up the Makers this turn. If I'm Gordie, there's no way I let this turn go without looking at 4.
Yeah. I think you baby wants just to have that extra
Sure.
credit. No.
Sure, gamble if you need to. Do whatever you need to feel comfortable that this is going to be successful. But he needs to know that he has got to look at 4 cards off R&D.
Yeah. If you want to win, you want to win now.
Thinking hard. He's tapping the card he needs. All right, here we go. Let's go get it.
What is that ice? Is it possible to
I don't even remember what it was. All right, Hollis thinking, is this going to save him the game?
It's just Enigma.
Harmless old Enigma.
That's game.
Game?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think he's going to see it.
Yep.
4 cards.
I think Hollis is going to Jackson to make it less likely.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Yeah, I agree. Thin that density as much as you possibly can.
Usually does not look. He's the type of player who doesn't look to see what would have happened.
Yeah, just put Jackson. Sweep's fine. I'd put the Jackson back in.
Show us.
All right.
Show us. Never.
I'm guessing he is seeing a lot of agendas at the bottom of his deck.
Yeah, he saw the agendas in the bottom. Wow.
You know, so here's the thing. He had the fast track all game. We saw that way earlier. I'm curious. That could have been a decision of, he waited so long because of clot. He never has used the fast track in this game.
You could have fast tracked.
Long time ago.
I don't know if he.
I don't know if he ditched it. I don't know if he ditched the card earlier, but
he can fast track. Obviously, if this goes okay.
Because he had a ton of money at one point in the game, and I think you would have done anything. I wonder
where all his money went.
Yeah.
He's only got 7 now.
Nope. Score. Beal off the bottom. Good game. Good game, guys. Gordie doing the unthinkable.
Wow.
Getting the 2-peat on Hollis.
Hand?
Wow. So counting Astros at the bottom of his deck, I imagine. But wow. Let's see what he had. I don't know if we're going to be able to see all the face downs, but great game from Gordie and Hollis. Tough for Hollis. I know he wanted to draw that Astro script earlier, but that can happen. That is, you play NEH. There are times where you don't draw the agenda you need. That can definitely happen. But I think put up a good showing. Fun to watch both these players. This is a game where so many times NEH just gets that free win where they just do what they do. But it's always fun to see the when both decks, there was some play to the decks, right? You had to see Kate dig out of that, get through the early game to get to the point where she had enough money to kind of not get just blown out of the game. And Hollis, when he gets late in the game, trying to figure out how do I see fresh cards and not then escape R&D lock. And it was fun to watch that matchup. I mean, that's a matchup. Any of you out there, you're going to see that matchup. Kate NEH is as classic as it gets.
Yeah, there's a lot we don't know about what Hollis was going through his mind. Like, we didn't see any of those remotes. We have no idea what was possible. But he was talking about, I don't know what he was saying at the end, that maybe he could have comboed it out somehow.
Yeah.
It's
it was tough. I'm curious, if we talk to him later, I'm very curious about the fast track. When he drew that earlier, Clot clearly screwed up a lot of his plans. No question about it. But fast track could have gotten him that first Astro. Was there a way that he could have potentially navigated to either bait the Clot out with one of those one-pointers that he tried to score out early just to get, bluff it out as an Astro? I think that could have been a potential play to give up the one-pointer to get the Clot off the board and get the Astro scored. Interesting, very fun game.